And let's start with the biggest story of the day, and that is the news that DeWanna Bonner is no longer with the Indiana Fever. It was reported last night that DeWanna Bonner had no intentions on returning to the Indiana Fever, and then the news broke today that the Indiana Fever had indeed waived DeWanna Bonner. And here is
DeWanna Bonner just learned the hard way that the WNBA doesn't forget, and definitely doesn't forgive. 1 minute she's tossing shade at Caitlin Clark. The next, poof. Every team suddenly acts like she doesn't exist. No calls, no contracts, not even a courtesy tryout. Did she torch every bridge with one clapback too many? Or did the league pull off the pettiest group project in history? Either way, this meltdown is messier than a locker room after triple overtime. Stay tuned.
Indiana Fever, aka America's team, baby. It's the talk of the town. It's the talk of the town. Want to know why DeWanna Bonner has been waived after quitting on America's team because she decided she wants to hoop and hump?
Bonner really outdid herself this time. She didn't just burn a bridge. She rigged it with fireworks, struck the match, and sashayed away in slow motion like she was starring in a Nike commercial. And for what? To pretend she's still the crown jewel of a franchise she barely bothered to show up for. Calling her overvalued is the understatement of the decade. She strutted around like a blue chip stock, oblivious to the fact the market had already moved on, and left her entire portfolio bleeding red.
Sorry. Do you have any parting message for DeWanna or anything? Like that you coached her before the season, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, obviously we're disappointed that things didn't work out. I love DB. I mean, DB is somebody that I have so much respect for. She's a Hall of Famer. And while I'm disappointed, I always, first and foremost, want her to be happy. And so I'm thankful for the time that we've had, and certainly, want her to be happy and wish her the best. And turning right now our focus to our team and what we can do to continue.
Somehow, Bonner convinced herself that ghosting games, gutting team chemistry, and treating leadership like a side hustle would still keep her phone lighting up. But the only thing buzzing now is dead silence. No teams, no offers, just her, a chorus of crickets, and the ghost of Caitlin Clark's name ricocheting around the league like a karma-fueled boomerang. Bonner didn't just misread her value. She strutted around like the WNBA was still trapped in her orbit, blind to the fact that gravity had long since shifted.
Man, bruh, I'm convinced the fix has been in this whole time, bruh. I'm sitting thinking about it. I'm sitting back thinking about it. I'm like, nah. DeWanna Bonner knew damn well she didn't want to come to Indiana. She knew she didn't want to be there. She knew she didn't want to be there. I think the fix was in. The Phoenix Mercury didn't have the bread to pay her. She said, I'm going to get the bag elsewhere, and then I'm going to force my way out to where within the first half of the season before All-Star, Alyssa Thomas, I'm going to be on your team. I think the fix has been in. I think the Phoenix Mercury knew this was going to happen.
Here's the real twist. The Fever shouldn't so much as blink in Bonner's direction, let alone entertain a second chance. That chapter's not just closed. It's torn out and tossed in the shredder. Bringing her back would be like reinstalling a known virus and acting surprised when the whole system tanks. This wasn't just physical absence. She mentally clocked out mid-season and never returned from her ego vacation. It's not betrayal when you go AWOL. It's outright sabotage when you come back expecting a hero's parade.
So DeWanna Bonner responded. She responded to leaving the Indiana Fever, and at least she didn't go out there and call out the Fever or anything. At least she didn't do that, I guess. But she has, in fact, spoken about leaving the Indiana Fever. And look, at the end of the day, she didn't want to be there. She didn't want to be there. And if you're either with us or you're against us, and clearly you're now against us. And she's gonna walk to the Phoenix.
Asterisk, let's be honest. The locker room isn't just sneakers and Gatorade, it's where trust is built. Bonner walked in like a neon sign flashing division for hire, stirring up drama as if gunning for a reality TV villain edit. One moment it's team unity, the next it's cliques forming like someone's about to get voted off the island. She didn't just create tension, she cultivated it, planting doubts with sly remarks and passive jabs until teammates were questioning who really had their back. Spoiler, not Bonner. She was too busy scripting her own solo saga. Other teams are passing on her talent. They're dodging the headache. Because this isn't the Bonner show. It's pro basketball, where chemistry matters more than side eyes and vanishing acts. Imagine being a rising star trying to find your groove, only to have the self-appointed queen stroll in with a suitcase full of grudges and zero leadership. That's not a teammate. That's a caution sign in bright lights ****.
Indiana. Caitlin Clark is in a slump. Caitlin Clark, aka White Jesus, aka Jesus Clark, is in a slump. But guess what, Jesus? Guess what, Jesus? We're still riding with you, baby, and we're not giving up on you. Indiana Fever gets rid of one and adds another.
***. That's not veteran leadership. That's chaos and sneakers. Young players don't need someone who treats commitment like an option and vanishes when it matters most. Worse, she's not just sinking herself. She's quietly pulling others in, spreading doubt and smug side eyes until it's not one problem, but a locker room full of them. This league runs on stories, and Bonner's is turning into the season's cautionary tale. The vet mistook ego for impact, tenure for teamwork. Now, teams aren't questioning her talent. They're avoiding the trust issues that trail behind her. Once a cornerstone, now a bright red warning sign. Because talent without loyalty isn't a gift. It's a ticking bomb no team wants to clean up after when it blows mid-season ****.
Great tonight. I find it notable and interesting that Dallas ended up making that run with Arike on the bench. It was cool to see Lee Uru in action, put on a couple of displays of impressive skill, hit a three-pointer. She put the ball down with a spin move a few times, and I think if she stays locked in, she might turn into somebody that is a valued piece for a good team in the future. But overall, I think this was about the Fever realizing this was not a game that they could lose, and I was really impressed with the offensive
****. Bonner skipped the math. Subtract commitment, divide unity, and you kill wins. The league sees it. Not just her numbers, but her choices. She gambled on ego, got benched by karma, and still acts like offers are lost in spam. They saw it all, the attitude, the no-shows, the teammates left cold. Now she's shocked and no one wants the sequel. Fever should lock the door. She picked herself over the team. Rewarding, that would be the worst message possible. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark takes hits and still shows up. Bonner wanted the spotlight. Now she's the warning label. Want loyalty? Give it. Want a comeback? Don't ghost when it counts ****.
Bonner pulls one of the weakest moves in sports history and quits on the Indiana Fever, not even halfway through the season, man. Your ass couldn't hit the fucking side of a barn and was stinking it up every game, and you're mad about a starting spot or some bullshit? Completely lost all respect for your punk ass, man. And now your preferred destination is the Phoenix Mercury and the Dream. Oh, what? So you can go back with Alyssa Thomas and Scissor? What the fuck kind of bullshit is this? And then all the people that hate Caitlin Clark so much, the Black Clan and Black Clan Panders, are sitting here supporting this weak
****. Bonner still acts like the league wronged her, as if being passed over is some shocking injustice, not the obvious result of her own mess. That's the real joke. She lit the fire, burned her chances, then stood in the rubble wondering why no one brought marshmallows. Fans see it too. She didn't just turn on Caitlin Clark. She turned on what the game's supposed to be about. Unity, sacrifice, fighting together. She chose herself, and now she's alone. This isn't just karma. It's poetic justice in high tops. Teams want heart and grit, not drama disguised as leadership. Now she's clutching old stats, waiting for doors that won't open. The lead moved on. The game grew. She's the only one who didn't get the memo. Because you can't ghost your team, question the culture, and expect a hero's welcome. Loyalty isn't optional, and she learned that the hard way ****.
You can welcome Ari McDonald back to the team. The Fever said, you know what, we're not even going to bother trying to trade DeWanna Bonner. We're not going to get anything for her. We are going to move on. They have waived her. I believe it saves about, $130 $135,000 from what they were paying her, which that is obviously gets freed up. They already had, I think, 30-some thousand already freed cap space, so they signed Aaron McDonald, so now that's 11. I believe they will, it may not happen right away, because now that they're back to 11, they may, take some time and look and
Fans, we got some breaking news. As I predicted in my video yesterday, DeWanna Bonner, who requested a trade from the Indiana Fever, has officially been waived. Indiana Fever were unable to find a trade package that worked for her $200,000 contract. I predicted that it would make more sense to waive her, allow a team to either pick her up off of waivers, which I don't think will happen, or allow her to clear waivers and go sign with another team for a different contract amount that fits under their cap. The news of DeWanna Bonner being waived comes from Chloe Peterson of the Indy Star. She does do great work on that beat. What's next for the Indiana Fever? We'll be re-signing Aaron McDonald on a veteran minimum. We'll have another free spot and cap space to sign another player.